my friends, my name is Lindsay and I run the blog Books for Christian Girls. Welcome to or welcome back to the little corner of the internet where I talk mainly about Christian fiction. Today I'm blending in with my tree, my Christmas tree made out of books. I made a whole separate video about that. I would love for y'all to check it out. I had so much fun editing that video and just the experience of doing it. It was a little chaotic, but I really enjoyed it. But because we have my Christmas tree, I need to do a Christmas reading wrap-up. All the books I read that were Christmassy here in the month of December. Actually, are y'all seeing this in the month of December? I don't know. I am so off schedule with things. It's been crazy busy. I'm going to try to get back on schedule. We'll see how I do. I did kind of a poll, I guess you could say, about, well, I did a poll on Instagram, but in my Christmas TBR video, I also kind of asked for y'all's opinion on would you want to see the Christmas books in a recent reads where I just talk about any, recent books I've read, or would y'all want them in a separate reading wrap-up video? And I really love that a couple of y'all commented on doing it on a separate video so you could find Christmas book recommendations or ones maybe not to read easier. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about some Christmas books that I read. I read a grand total of, how many did I read? I was pretty proud. 2, 4, 6. I read 6 books. So that means I didn't get to 3 of the ones on my list. I think that's what that is. I think I had 10 on my list, but one really wasn't Christmassy. It was just winterish, and I'll still read that one. I plan to read that one sooner than later. Here, I'm probably within the next month or so. But elsewise, Christmas books, there was 9. I've read 6 of them. And I feel like that's really good because I'm not really a big Christmas book person for some reason, because I feel like a lot of the times it just gets added in, that it's not really like set around Christmas, it just happens to be set at Christmas. I don't know, there's a slight nuance difference in that, and I'm not a big fan of that. I don't know if that made any sense at all, but let's just go on with the books. So I actually think I'm going to switch it up though. Typically in my recent reads I do it by genre. I think for this video, because there's only 6, I want to do them in the order I read them in. I think that'd be fun because we started off decent, we kind of crashed, we went up, we went down, it was a whole graph thing, but we ended on a high note because I reread a favorite, but we'll discuss that at the end. As always though, I have full content reviews of all of these books linked down below if you want to make sure they're safe and okay for you and your family. I can't list every single thing in my videos, so if a book interests you, I always recommend to go see my review of it to make sure it's okay. I try to list any major things in these videos, but I am human and I forget, and I get excited about talking about books or moving on from one book to the other book, so I definitely recommend checking out the reviews. I also want to say that I am editing a Christmas reading vlog of these books, but y'all, it's being edited very slowly because I talk too much in reading vlogs. Let's just put that there right now. So it's slowly coming along. I honestly don't expect y'all to have it within the next couple weeks, but maybe it will happen. It could also be like happening around Valentine's Day, releasing. So we'll just see on that. It's slowly but surely being edited. So that video will be more like first thoughts and kind of more thoughts. I'm just going to give an overview of these and what I thought of them. So without further ado, my first book was Christmas Witness Pursuit by Lisa Harris. This is a love-inspired suspense, and I thought it was really interesting. I gave it 3.5 stars. It had its cheesy lines because love-inspired suspense books, they're only so big, And if you've ever read a love-inspired suspense book, there's kind of a formula a lot of them follow. And this one, it went off a little bit, so that was nice. But it was fast-paced, but not really because of the plot, because of the size of the book. But plot-wise, it opens up with this main girl. She hears a gunshot. She's in a car that had skid off the road. It's obviously set during Christmas time. And she remembers nothing. She has amnesia. And for some reason, I like the amnesia trope. The main guy is a deputy, if I remember right. Yes, a deputy. And he is on the scene trying to help her. The 2 FBI agents she was with are... I don't remember if they're killed or if they're just knocked out. I don't remember exactly off the top of my head. But anyway, they have to run from the killers that are after her in the wilderness at Christmas time. You know, just, yeah, that's how it is. So overall, I enjoyed it. There was a couple parts I found really interesting, particularly about the Osborne Fire Finder. That was really interesting. I'll link the video that I watched about that before because I'm not familiar with that. Like, I live in Texas, and yes, we have wildfires, but they're not typically in the area or just the vicinity where I live. So I was not familiar with that piece of old technology, I guess you could say. And it was just really neat to have like that historical element in this book and then watch the video and fully understand what it was. It was neat. I think I would have, though, preferred this to be like a full-length novel, like most love-inspired suspense books I read, but it was still good time. I enjoyed it. I do plan to read her other one that I didn't get to, which was Christmas Up in Flames, but I'll talk about the ones I didn't get to a little later. But yeah, I enjoyed it. 3.5 stars. Okay, y'all. Next one is The Spinster's Christmas by Camille Elliot. I feel really bad about this one because I got the pretty illustrated edition because it's got like that manga style, and I thought it was super cute. I was really, really excited. The opening chapter was very cute. And I don't know, there's just certain things, like with the illustrations, she was very chesty, which, you know, that happens a lot with manga, and that's why I avoid a lot of manga. And it was just like a major emphasis on that, and then there was a couple other parts, but like overall, I gave this book 1 star, and that's really sad to say. I really wanted to like the main 2 characters, but they both were so focused on things that happened to them and what they couldn't do that they just felt sorry for themselves, and I'm just not, I ain't here for that. I'm sorry. And the faith content was really not there with them. There was a side character, and now this is a prequel to another series that is about that side character in this book, and so you see her faith and her trying to witness to them. But at the same time, you've got characters kind of taking God's name in vain. And I say taking because I know it's that Regency time period, but I'm still not okay with it, you know? It's just, yeah, not okay. And then we had a tongue kiss, and I was just like, I was out. So unfortunately, this was a 1 star. My next book I figured out wasn't actually a Christmas book, but it was Snowbound by Elizabeth Adams, and this is one of the books in the Secrets of Mary's Bookshop series. Number 20 or something, I can't remember exactly. Let me see. 20, yes, number 20. And this is more winter themed. I didn't realize that. I thought it would be, you know, kind of set around Christmas time, but I did actually really enjoy this one. This one and another book that I'll be talking in a recent reads upcoming, which was Lost for Words. I think that was 18, because for some reason it had like summer, spring, winter in the series. Like they line up weird. So I skipped the spring one. I'll read that one in the spring one. I like reading these in the seasons for some reason. I don't know why. But I read that one and I really enjoyed that one, the number 18. This one I also really enjoyed, so I'm hoping I like the other one as well that I skipped. Like, am I going to have 3 really good ones in a row? I don't know, but I really hope so. But this one, okay, let me tell you the plot. Let me get coherent and tell y'all about the plot. Mary sets up a book booth at this I think it's the luxurious Chadwick Inn. And they are hosting a murder mystery, a historical murder mystery kind of event / party for these guests that have come from all over, and they get to try to solve a historical murder that happened. But while they're doing that and acting it out, it's like a acting troupe that does this. It was really cool, in all honesty. I really thought those aspects were neat. One of the guests disappears. And that's not on script. So it's, you know, Mary is now being pulled in with her detective skills. You know, kind of the amateur sleuths. But I really appreciated how it was handled in this book in that regard, because in other ones I've read by Guideposts, the women start thinking they're better than the police. And Mary does not think that. She's just trying to be a help. But she stays out of the way when needed. And I appreciate that. So she tries to help find this missing woman, and you know, things happen, and I really enjoyed it. And the inn gets snowed in, and they lose power, and things happen. There's mysterious people. I don't know, I just liked it. I liked it. It was like a cozy mystery no actual murder because you have like, you know, the people acting as the historical people. It was enjoyable. I liked it. Again, not Christmassy, but they get snowed in at an inn while a historical murder mystery play/event is happening, and then a woman disappears. There, that was a much more coherent way to explain that book. The next book I read was a historical Christmassy novella collection, and that was Under the Texas Mistletoe by Karen Wittemeyer. I gave an overall rating of 4 stars for this collection, but the first book, first novella, was by far my favorite. That was A Texas Christmas Carol, and as you can tell, it's a retelling of the Christmas Carol. You know, with Scrooge and the ghosts and all that, like do better or else kind of message. And here's the thing about retellings. You know how they're gonna go, right? If you know a general idea of the plot, you know what's gonna happen. But for some reason, we all still love retellings because it's seeing that story again through the lens of another author. And I don't know, I just really like that. And this was a really, really good story. I gave the novella 4.5 stars. I just enjoyed it so much, particularly because of all the faith content. It was so natural. It was just absolutely lovely. I just loved the faith content. And the main girl, Felicity, was also just the sweetest thing. I just adore her. I kind of want to be like her. She was just awesome. The faith content was just wonderful. The witnessing, the discussions, the praying for others. I just really, really loved it. And that's what made that novella so good in my opinion. The second novella in this collection is An Archer Family Christmas, and that is connected to, okay, let me think, A Short Straw Bride. I never can say that straight. That's a tongue twister. And I personally was not a fan of that book. And then Stealing the Preacher, which is probably my favorite book by this author. I reread it, I think, even in 2022. I think it was this year. I'm not sure. I reread it recently and I still really enjoyed it. And so that second novella in this collection is connected to that. And there's another novella too in the series, but I haven't read that one. And I think what I really like about the Archer family is just their, not only their respect for each other, but their sincere caring and organization also for each other. That probably makes no sense at all, but they're just so well done. The characters and the brothers and now their wives and children. This second novella did pull on my heartstrings way more than I was expecting, and it was sweet. I think I gave it 3 stars. Let me double check on that. Yes, I gave it 3 stars. I liked it. I mean, it does have kind of the hints of, because they're all married couples, right? And there's kissing and that kind of thing. So that does affect my rating because I don't really care about knowing that kind of information. But it wasn't bad. It was my least favorite of this collection though, because the other 2 were much better. And then the last novella is A Gift of the Heart, and it's a widow and her daughter move to Hope Springs for a fresh start, but with no money to secure a home, Ruth must convince a wealthy resort owner to accept her heirloom brooch as collateral. Will the pen that brought love to 3 generations soften the heart of a wounded recluse and give Ruth a second chance at love as the holidays draw near? It was cute. It did feel a little rushed compared to the other ones, but I still really liked it. It was just very sweet. That's all I really can say about that one, is it was really sweet. So overall, I really enjoyed this collection, I guess you could say. I gave it a 4 stars overall rating. If there was an option, though, to just own the first novella in a physical copy, I think I would rather have that than this whole collection, because I just really enjoyed that novella so much. Okay, we're moving into an unpopular opinion, and I don't want to do it. Okay. I read Catching Christmas by Terry Blackstock, and I know so many friends love this one, and when I posted my review I had people messaging me going, "This is the best book, what is wrong with you?" Well, y'all didn't word it that way, but it kind of felt like that way. So I gave this one 2.5 stars, and here's the main deal about this one. I can see why so many like it, but for me it just didn't work. The premise of this story is about Sydney's grandmother, Callie, and Callie, I have thoughts on her, but she gets this cab driver, not an Uber driver, he has a lot of vendetta against Uber drivers, and she gets him, Finn, to take her around basically. And she's not, I think she was struggling with dementia or Alzheimer's or something like that. I don't think it was specifically named in that regard. And so she's not always fully aware of what's going on. And Finn is kind of like, man, this granddaughter's terrible for leaving her grandmother this way. But she's a first year associate at a law thing, and she's working on a terrible case. And so she has things to prove, and Finn is really bitter and crabby, and I did not like either of them. I'm so sorry. And then Callie, the grandmother, I saw a lot of people commenting on how funny she was, but I just found it more awkwardly embarrassing, certain comments she made towards others. Maybe it's because I've had people around me that do that kind of thing. I couldn't laugh at it. But yeah, I don't know. Y'all, I wanted to like this book a lot. This was my first Terry Blackstock book. And I have to be honest, now I'm hesitant towards her other books, reading them. I have the If I Run trilogy on my TBR. But I don't know. Because I think, well, honestly, they're probably very different, right? So if anyone's read that trilogy and this book, let me know. Because this one, I think what really, I guess you could say, sealed the deal that I really just didn't like it. I mean, I'm giving it 2.5, which means it was okay on the borderline if I liked it. Because I did like certain elements, but I just really didn't like the characters. The plot, I feel like had the characters been different, I would have liked it way better. The characters just really ruined it for me, along with the random romance. Finn and Sydney, they went so quickly from hating each other to really liking each other. I don't know, the romance just was not it for me. It really felt added in just so it could be called a romance book. Now, again, I know these are unpopular opinions, and I apologize if you're not happy to hear it, but it is what it is, and that's what we got. Sorry about that. And then to end this video on a fantastic note, we have a reread, and that was Hear Them Ring by Erin Mangum. I kind of asked y'all, would you start off with this book you know you're going to love at the beginning of your Christmas reading, or are you going to save it to the end? And a lot of y'all said you would save it to the end, and that's what I was thinking I would do, and I ended up doing that. I read it a few novellas on Christmas Eve, and then I read them on Christmas Day, and it was just so lovely. I love this author's writing style so much. It just gives me so much serotonin with the quirky characters and their humor, and just the faith content is just top notch. And I love this author's book so much. I just love them so much. So it's 4 novella collections, and if I had to rank them, I would say The Christmas Watch, the first one, is my very favorite. No, it's not because the main girl's name is Lindsey, spelt my way. It doesn't hurt, but it's not the reason. I just love the childhood best friends to more trope. Like childhood best friends, friends to more. I love it. And that's what that was. It was just the cutest thing. And there was just like little things that just made me just squee and giggle. And I just adored it so much. My second one would be Oh Christmas Brie. And Brie, the main girl, it's the last one in the collection. And Brie, the main girl, her family runs a Christmas tree farm. And she is now having to kind of be even more hands-on after her dad is sick and needs to rest. So this season is just different. She has to hire a new Santa for the farm. And so there's a light romance, but it's very, I guess you could say, open-ended, because it doesn't end with confessing or kissing or anything like that. It's like there could be a potential romantic interest here. I'm intrigued by him, but the God is good and he is good all the time, and I'm just going to keep trusting him and going down the path he directs me. And I love that message so much. It's so refreshing to have a romance book where it doesn't end with a couple at the end. Like, it's a possibility, but not right now. And it just gives that open feeling that these characters' lives are still going. And I've said this about this author's books before that I really like. It reminds me a lot of the Carrington Spring trilogy by this author. In that regard, I love that series. I want to reread that series. It has a dear, dear, dear piece of my heart. And yeah, I just really loved that aspect. I just really liked that aspect. Number 3 would be novella number 3, and that is My Revised Christmas List. This one was just really cute. Again, the friends to more trope, and it was really precious. It was really precious. I just really liked it. I think okay, so it's hard to say because I gave all of these like 4, 4.5, or 5 stars. So they're all good. But if I had to rank the 4, I would probably put number 2 as number 4 for me personally. And that's Merry and Bright. And I liked this one because it has like that little road trip. Kelly's going back to visit her family. Her nice young boss is helping her go because of the blizzard and the weather and, you know, all that kind of stuff. But he accidentally gets kind of trapped. So he spends Christmas with her family. And it was a really cute book. I do feel like the ending was just a touch rushed, and I wish it had gone just a little longer. But again, it was just really sweet. And what I think I love the most about Erin Mangum, her leading guys, they're just so respectful. And they don't make comments. And we also don't see their point of view either. It's an always first person of the main girl. And again, I just really like that. It's cleaner. It's a lot more wholesome in a lot of regards. And it's really sweet. So I love this book. Please read an Erin Mangum. If you haven't read a book, that is literally my mission for this channel, is make you read my favorite books. No, but well, it's a bonus. It's a bonus. Oh, I just love this book. It's so good. Overall, 5 stars on this one. It's just, I love the author's writing style. I love the author. I just love her faith content, her characters. I just love it so much. So with that, those are my 6 books. Let me tell you the ones I didn't get to, I suppose. And that would be Christmas Up in Flames by Lisa Harris. I already read one of hers, so I didn't read this one. A Quilt for Christmas by Melody Carlson. Didn't get to it. Merry Humbug Christmas by Sandra D. Bricker. I didn't get to it. And then Don't Keep Silent by Elizabeth Goddard. It's not Christmassy, but it's wintry. And I had that one in that video, and I still plan to read that one. But the other 3 actual Christmas books I will be saving for probably next year. Unless I do a Christmas in July, which I'm not really that person to do Christmas in July, but we'll see. So here are the books that I read. You can see my sticky note on one of them, but that's fine. And yeah, overall, not bad. But it definitely, I think, helps to end on a high note. I can't believe it's taken me 5 years to reread this collection. What was wrong with me? I don't know. I'm definitely going to have to read it more often because they're just so precious. And I was like squealing and giggling and like kicking my feet in delight because it was adorable. So overall, not bad. If I had to pick, I really liked The Texas Christmas Carol by Karen Wintermeyer. That novella was really good. I did also really like Snowbound by Elizabeth Adams. And then the Lisa Harris suspense one was really good too, I suppose. So yeah, I mean overall, pretty good. 6 books. I enjoyed the majority of them. I'll take it. So I will see y'all next time. Thank you so much for watching. I would love to know in the comments below or on Instagram or wherever, Goodreads, wherever, if you've read any of these. Did you like them? I hope out of any of these you'll pick up Hear Them Ring maybe next year. Or if you're a person that reads Christmas year-round, here you go. Here's my recommendation right here. And I'd love to chat about these books. What books did you read for Christmas time? Was there one that you really liked? Suggest it to me. I'd love to know. And I will see y'all next time. Thank you so much for watching. I am Lindsey from the blog Books for Christian Girls at blogspot.com. We're in 2022 and 2023. There's a new review every Monday and Friday. I try to post on this channel every other Friday, and then I'm on Instagram pretty often, but if you want real-time book updates, that would be there, and Goodreads. So I will see y'all next time. Thank you so much for watching, and have a lovely rest of your day.